Okay, I'm a little disappointed because I set up a video. I was doing it live, and I showed putting this pan in, and then I also showed. Now this rust was a real bright orange color. Now I mentioned how you didn't have to scrape or use any kind of power tools to clean a cast iron pan. I also enlarged this and scrolled in. So now I'm going to try to show a little bit of what you missed. Basically, my S7, which is prone to getting hot anyhow, was too close to the fire and shut down the app. So maybe one of these days I'll break down and get a different kind of camera for the job, but that's what I got going on. So I'm trying to show you. This had rust. I mean, like a year, maybe two. I don't know, maybe longer. I have no idea. My buddy Josh gave me this pan. You probably missed that too, but we'll try again. So basically, you have to lay the pan, just in case we missed all this. That's a piece of lodged cast iron. My friend Josh gave it to me. It's been sitting outside. It was looking pretty rough. There's a couple pictures of it in my other videos burning a stump naturally. This phone is still so hot. I can't believe that this phone's getting hot like it is. They tell me they won't catch fire. Sometimes I wonder. I really don't know. I mean, they hot to the touch hot. I took the cover off and it's still hot. So here's the pan. It was very rusty. There are some other videos in burning stump naturally. And I tried a live, and I don't know if the live feed got lost or if it's still available or what happened, but the phone shut down and I can't see the feed, so I'm guessing it was lost. I started out by putting the pan over here, letting it heat up near the fire, because it's very easy to crack cast iron. You don't use power tools. You don't do any of the stuff that people do. Cast iron isn't restored by painting it black. I'm from the Appalachian Mountains originally, and you know, my ancestors and close relatives that are now gone would roll over in their graves if they saw me treating a piece of cast iron like some people treat it. I took a piece of cast iron that's been out in the yard. It had pine needles in it, had water had been in it, it rusted, and then it dried out, and then crusted, and it had an even crust all the way around. So I'm taking a stick, people, a piece of wood. You can do it with a spoon. It doesn't matter. The heat changes the rust. Okay, the heat changes the rust. Then you can recure the pan. So cast iron is meant to be in a kitchen. When I get done, this cast iron will be safe for a kitchen. And that's what this video is about. It's about making cast iron safe for a kitchen. Something you might find at a yard sale. You don't know what somebody's done. You want to build a fire. You want to build hot coals. And you want to set the pan into the coals. And then you want to scrape with a stick or a wooden spoon or something like that at the rust as it turns dark brown, like it is now. Okay, so people that don't know what they're doing, they use wire brushes on drills and all kinds of things, and you're imparting part of that material into the pan. You're also roughing up the surface in such a way it's going to be hard to cure. Despite what anybody says, neither of those things are good. This pan can be cleaned. Then it can be greased. Then it can be wiped down and cleaned again. Basically, you're going to fry up salt pork or something else, maybe even bacon. Grease first. And this will go from the fire to an oven. This is the best way to do this. And once the rust is gone, some people cure these things with peanut oil, but I'm going to do it with pork products so that peanut allergies could eat out of it. But if you look at this pan and you look back at the other video, you will see that this pan is already in much better shape than it was. And it needs to set in this heat. But it also needs to do something that I haven't had a chance to do yet. And I'm going to try to do now that the phone is cooling off and it's not as hot. But real quick, the pan has to be, and let's keep the coals in the fire, people. Okay, so the pan must be brought back away from the fire and then flipped. And now we're into the second stage of curing the cast iron, because we're going to get these coals and things that are burning around it. And I'm doing this to show you that heat is your friend with cast iron. And I'm sure that what was lost should be repeated from the live video, and I apologize. This thing just shut down, and I'm going to try not to do it again, even though it's really hot. Okay. Put the stick out a little bit. Make sure it's in the ashes and not anywhere where it's going to burn. Cast iron is made of iron, also known as pig iron, and sand in a consistency that will allow the pan to get very hot without changing shape or form or the damaging of the pot, to be able to be exposed to very high temperatures in a fire. Its original design. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm returning it to the heat that was used to set the cast iron. The last time I done this, the cast iron got cherry red, something you really can't see here because we're setting in the daylight. But as the night goes on, I'm not taking this out. I'm going to build a fire over top of it now. It's gotten hot, it's gotten to the temperature of the fire, and I want it to burn out all the rust and anything else that might not be good for a kitchen food. So I'm going to stop the video and try to come back to it here in a minute. Keep dropping this thing because I don't have the cover on and it's hot. I'm going to try to keep from shutting down again and losing video. And I apologize. I need a different system, I guess, because this thing, when it runs video for more than 5 minutes, sometimes gets really, really hot. So here's cast iron being returned to a kitchen while burning out a stump on This Is Season 1, Episode 3, Part 3. This is cast iron care and maintenance and restoration.